can't come and conquer a community like that. Tell me if I'm right. Tell me if you agree. You cannot conquer a community that is full of strong, stable, educated, intelligent families that have some wealth in the bank. You cannot do that. Go to a rich white neighborhood with good white folks. Not all of them are evil, right? Go to a rich white neighborhood with some conscientious white folks and go in there and try to just to have your way. You can't build a damn Burger King in a neighborhood like that without some lady at every zoning board meeting saying you're not allowed to do that because of regulation 6746A, or from the people from the HOA that ride around their little golf carts and say you left your trash can out on a Tuesday, you can't do that, right? That's what communities look like. Those are people that are basically setting the standard, saying, look, if you can't play by the rules, you can't live here. You're not operating the way we want you to, and they not like us, so you got to go. And it ain't just along racial lines. I mean, sure, you got some people that might have race as part of the decision-making process, but I can tell you as a black man who's owned property in some of these neighborhoods, some of y'all own property in these spaces, they're not really like trying to boot you out because you're black, but they will boot you out if you're ignorant. If you act a damn fool, they're gonna tell you to leave. So here's my point. So with this Project 2070 that I wrote about in the book. It takes a village to raise the bar, new paradigm for Black America. I wanted to make the message clear because I said somebody's got to do something. I said I don't know how much I can do, but I'm gonna try. And I remember specifically that year I went to go meet with Reverend Jesse Jackson and Father Michael Flager. And I love Father Michael Flager and I love Reverend Jackson. He was always very kind to me. In fact, he said so, he gave me one of the best compliments ever. Like that almost made me blush. He said Dr. Watkins, if Dr. King was around, he'd be quoting you all over the place. And I keep that in my pocket. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool to hear. And Father Michael Flager is just one of the most courageous people you'll ever meet. I mean, just so much respect for him. But I remember when we sat down and we were talking about just what's happening in our communities, and I said, we got to do something. We got to build better boys, like do something when they're boys so that they become stronger men so they can fight against the oppression. And I remember that the perspective Reverend Jackson shared with me, it was different, a little bit different from my own. It's not to say he was wrong, because I really love Jesse Jackson. I love his whole family. Santita, I got to know them all. And but I remember he kept talking about um the system, and he talked about jobs, and he talked about what the government was and was not doing for Black people. And I kind of I listened, and I think what I've always been looking for is the like what now?